Okay, it's a reveal video. Not that Falcon, although I love it. That's the Falcon 9 from SpaceX, did its first successful landing. But this one, Bandai's Millennium Falcon. Shall we go have a look, see how we did? Okay. I think this model puts paid to rest the whole assembly versus model making. This was an assembler's dream. It went together in about 2 hours flat, and it was just perfect in every respect. The detail is outstanding for 1/144 scale, and I could not be happier with the kit itself. The only problem were the non-English instructions, but that's it. Beautiful figures. I painted up Ray and Chewbacca because I was going to do the final scene. The cockpit was pretty good. I cleaned out the end, put some lights in. So there it is, all assembled. See a nice hole there. And now the back panel is a blue styrene piece, but I decided to put some blue flickering LEDs in there. Now the LEDs were basically two kits shoved together on a 9-volt system. Some blue flickering lights at the back. I put a piece of diffused clear styrene there and some lights at the front. That's the rig inside the kit itself. There's not a lot of room, but just enough. There's the cockpit. And there's the front headlights, which were fibre optics. Next time I would use some straight red LEDs. All together, primed in black and grey. I just did grey because I ran out of black at that particular moment. I would have done it all in black. Masked the top gun bay and the bottom, and sprayed. Now the base colour I used was Tamiya XF1 flat white to deck tan at a 4:1 ratio. This was actually a bit too dark, so I had to do a bit more post shading. I used the decals for the bottom, but they didn't come out too well, so I decided to paint the top armoured colours and chip them away. So that's the top done with the flat coat all finished. Sorry, gloss coat, and then we go for the dark dirt wash, and then the flat coat. There we go. So that's all done. Now it's time to put some oils on and some streaking. So I try to make this as authentic as possible, where there's a bit of rust streaking down the bottom there, and then also some scorch marks. And there's some exhaust streaking at the back, and there's the damage. A few more details I forgot to mention. First thing with the damage, what I tried to do there was I drilled small holes in the plate itself, and then I used a curved blade to elongate them to make them like deflecting shots, and I used some MIG smoke pigment and some pure black oil to get that effect. In terms of all the greebles and all the gun ports and so forth, I saw them get done quite a lot just overshaded, just too dark. I wanted to capture all the detail and be as authentic as possible. So what I did was I used a combination of black and brown Vallejo ink wash. Because the thing with the Bandai kits is the plastic on them is a bit, can't use too many enamels or oils, only on the surface, not in actual structural bits. So ink washes, clay washes, that sort of thing. So that's what I did. I used some very subtle ink washes and some details in there. On the side greebles, as you can see there, I used a combination of some dry brushing techniques using the Tamiya metallic blue and smoke, which is actually a really, really nice colour, just to bring out and highlight all those details that are in there, and a subtle amount of rust streaking. You can see more on this side as well. The escape pods, or the docking bays, seem to have a blue metallic tint to them when you have a look at them on the movie itself, so that's why I did the dry brushing there. The other effects, of course, is all the soot and other kind of unrealistic, but it looks good in the movie, streaking effects. Again, with the oils, I was using a number 2 or a number 1 brush and then using a bristle and flicking it back like that. Pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Now the last thing I did, which I haven't mentioned, haven't taken any build photos on, is the base. Now the base they give you is not that colour, it's that colour. It's yellow, it's for the desert. This is supposed to be the Force Awakens depicted the running away scene, you know, when they're on Jakku and they fly off. That's what it's supposed to be. So that's supposed to be desert. And I didn't want that one. I wanted the final scene. Spoiler alert. Go see the movie. Where they're flying over water to go find Luke. And so I have had another go at doing water, which something I really want to have a go at. I put some Vallejo transparent water on the top of this and textured it with some small wavelets and crests and so forth, and then painted it a series of gloss blues and a little bit of gloss white. I should have done a stage of green, some fluorescent sort of green, and on the underside of a wave as it goes up and crests. I didn't do that, but I did some dry brushing, and then several layers of gloss coat to get a sort of shiny finish. It's hard to capture on the camera there, but I think it looks pretty effective. And as I said, I love these things in flight. So let's have a look at the LEDs turned on and see how they went, both at daytime and nighttime. So here are the lights. During the daytime, you can see the blue flickering in the background there. I think it gives a good effect. I would have gone with slightly stronger next time. And you can see a hint of what I'm going to build next Star Wars wise. There's the 148 Bandai X-Wing. Anyway, this is about the Falcon now. What do we got here? We've got it's a fibre optic in the top gun port. There's just one there. Then I drilled out some holes to get some background light, because there is a soft background LED in the middle of the kit just to give a bit of background light instead of the coolness of the LEDs and fibre optics. At the front, this was hit and miss. I had to drill a hole to get the fibre optic in there, and it changes colour. It should be red all the time, so yeah, next time I'll go straight red LED. Not too bright, but bright enough, as you can see from the movie. And then the cockpit for 1/144 scale, I think it's pretty hard to wire that up. Other people have done more. I've just got two in there, one on the floor, one on the back. Now, nighttime, you can see it a lot better. And there's the cockpit. There's a LED on the floor in the back, and there's one on the back wall. It's coming through nicely. There's the gun port. Oop, lights on. Turn light off. Turn light off. Thank you. There we go. There's the red light. It's changing colour. Gives a nice effect to that gun port, which is actually quite well detailed, if I'm honest. And we turn it around, and this is the effect we all want to see, is the flickering blue. You can see there's a central point of light there. I really had three in there. I just need to adjust them, I think, a bit more, just to make it a bit more diffused, so it looks a bit nicer. So there it is, first attempt, and I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, there it is. What else is there to say? I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, these Bandai Star Wars kits are just an absolute dream. Go and get one. Alright, I hope my piece of garbage was alright for you.
The garbage will do!